This is our park. Follow us to see what we like to play.
Through some work funded by Cymorth at the time, we identified the fact that a great deal of the play facilities on Anglesey were substandard.
This is another place where we like to shelter when it rains.
To start with, I was slightly unsure what it was all about, but I did know there was a lot of money for play on Anglesey. But we felt that we wanted it to be more than just swings and roundabouts, so we wanted this money to have a significant difference for Anglesey.
Ie, mi wnaethon ni asesiad nôl yn 2008 a 2009, a wnaethon ni diweddaru fel 2010, o'r darpariaethau chwarae yn Ynys Môn a hefyd ar draws Gwynedd a Chonwy. Rhaid ni gymharu yn erbyn y niferoedd plant, lle mae plant yn byw i pellter nhw wrth darpariaethau chwarae fel hyn o fel arall, a hefyd agwedd pobl o fewn cymunedau tuag at plant yn chwarae ac agwedd gwasanaethau plant tuag at plant yn chwarae hefyd, a hefyd y risg mae da ni'n boeni amdano fo.
I think the key milestones for me is seeing the work that the play coordinator has done in raising awareness of what play is and to break down the barriers that exist through play and risk with play.
This is a den that we love to play in, and we use it as a theme like a jungle.
Mae plant yn dod i ffeindio allan eu hunan sydd fath o berson ydyn nhw trwy chwarae. Chwarae dychmygol, dringo hyd yn oed, dringo coed a ballu. Ydyn nhw'n deallu dringo'r goedan na i'r top. Mae nhw eu hunan o chwarae yn asesu be maen nhw'n gallu, be dydyn nhw ddim yn gallu gwneud, ydyn nhw ddigon hyderus neu beidio. Wedyn mae jyst yn cael ei ddechrau meddwl dros y hynna, ydw dwi'n gallu gwneud hynna, neu na, dydw i ddim, ond lle fyddai'n gallu ffos nesaf, neu lle fyddai'n gofyn am help i wneud o. Mae jyst dod â y gwir a y person hapus allan mewn plant ni ddeud, a dangos i plant o gynnu nhw hawliau. Efo gweithio cymuned wedi bod, maen nhw'n dod ata fi wedi bod fwy fel mae wedi bod. Os oes gyn nhw isio datblygu parciau, dwi wedi bod yna wedyn yn helpu nhw yn mynd i fewn ac yn gwneud ymgynghoriadau o fi fewn i'r ysgol. Achos mae ddigon hawdd i bobl feddwl, oes, gawn ni swing o fanna, gawn ni sleid o fanna, swing o fan i licio pan ni'n fychan, ond dim dyna ydy'r ffordd iawn. Mae'n bwysig cyfranogi a cael safbwynt y plant. Dyna beth dwi'n trio deud sydd yn bwysig. A hefyd, o gael y plant on bod o'r cychwyn, gobeithio mae'n llai o fandaleiddio, felly mynd i fod, mae'n mynd i gymryd mwy o barch o'r parciau, felly, o fod wedi cael cyfranogi ac o fod wedi cael ei llais i ddeud be maen nhw isio yn y parciau.
I've been trying for some years on my own to persuade councillors to try and get some new play equipment into our field. And it was only when Martina turned up and moved in and said, you know, this is a lovely community, why haven't we got any, play area? Where's the play area? And somebody says, well, Helen's been trying, why don't you speak to her?
So we had a public meeting and then we put down a few ideas. Then we also approached the school because we wanted to reach every part of the community. We were in the school veteran as well to see what the children there wanted and required as well. So they were involved at the very beginning so that they would take ownership of the field, which is very important because we're only here for a short time. Eventually, these are going to be the new generation, which is going to hopefully look and care for the field.
It's very much a community job that we've come together to put this play area together.
The official part of all of this, and I promise you it will be as quick as possible.
What we've been able to do is to prove to the people with the money, the grant providers, that we needed a play area here at Thomas Close to service not just Beaumaris, not just the children of Beaumaris, but the whole southeast corner of Anglesey. We've got the skateboard ramps at the bottom. By taking the kids off the street in the town with the antisocial behaviour and the graffiti and bringing them to somewhere where they can actually play safely, associate friendly and play games up here, it's massively beneficial for the whole of the community.
It all started, in actual fact, when Martin Owen and I looked over a garden fence at a muddy patch that the kids were playing in and said, we need to do something about that. And we said we would form a community council committee called Mentamecheth. It's acted as a catalyst, in actual fact, for other organisations. People in the village with interest were able to get together. And as the actioning committee, we were there to empower them. We showed them how they could access funds. Now that it's going, we've got the children involved in a committee. They've got their own committee. They're involved in policing the site. There is only one small piece of graffiti on the whole of the site, and the site's been open 4 years now. And I put that down to the children because it's their site.
There was a lot of rubbish, broken glass, whereas now I think the kids like their park, so they keep it tidy.
And because they had to raise some of the money, their half themselves, they've got involved with it and they look after it more because they've raised the money and they've had a say in what goes in there as well.
There's always parents there, they always know us, as another parents.
Well, that's what it's made us more of a community, really, because if one parent's not there, we know all the children, so we know the mothers, and so we'll keep an eye out, or when we're not there, they'll keep an eye out, so it's really good, Everybody's just getting together better, aren't they?
Yeah. I don't know what we do with, if it was the summer holidays for 6 weeks to entertain the kids, you can't afford to go somewhere every day with them. It's nice to spend, 3 or 4 free days in the park.
Mae pawb o'r Sir Fôn yn gwybod yn parciau cyfran 10 y 5 parc yna ac yn sôn amdano nhw gyda parc fel a da ni eisiau fatha'r un yn Llanfechell, fel yr un yn Niwbwch, fel yr un yn Talwrn, fel yr un yn Beaumaris. Maen nhw gyd yn mynd ac yn sbio ar y parciau yna ac yn mynd yn ôl wedyn ac yn rhoi yn y ceisiadau. A mae lot o'n nhw hefyd wedi bod yn siarad hefo rei Beaumaris, hefo rei Talwrn i weld sut dathach chi ato i hel arian. Mae hynny bod yn dda, fod yr bobl sydd wedi cael yr arian trwy cyfran 10 wedi bod ddigon parod i rannu syniadau o sut dath nhw ati i gael y grantiau mae fewn. A deud wrth bobl hefyd, Talwrn, ffa enghraifft, peidiwch ar hoi fyny. Mae'n cymryd amser, gwnewch o mewn faces. Wedyn mae dysgu o lle maen nhw wedi dod a wedi adeiladu parc yn slo bach wedi bod yn wych i weld cymunedau eraill wedyn yn gweithio yn yr un ffyrdd, ti'n bod?
This is the zip line and this is one of the most popular things in our park.
I think when we were filling in the grant fund, it's great to get sort of some help. We got a lot of help through Medra Môn. We also spoke to Mentor Môn, who also helped us. So it's trying to get people that know what they're doing on board as well. Start
with little amounts. Don't go for the big amount right at the start. The big amount won't come to you. But if you can prove to the funding providers by getting small grants from small grant providers and put that into your main application for your main funding, you will find that you will be successful.
These organisations and the various charities around don't just want you to come and say, we want money. They want you to say, we want money, this is what we're going to do with it, this is how the village will benefit from it. They want to know how wisely their money is going to be spent. So you've got to be professional. If you're handing a begging bowl out, put reasons in it, why you want to do and what it's going to achieve.
I think as well that it's important that we did go and visit a lot of playgrounds and we visited a lot of different sites, and I think for us it was important to make sure that the playground that we chose fitted the environment and we wanted it as natural as possible. So it's sort of to suit which area that you're in, and also the children, because the children count a lot. If they know what they want, we've tried to do as much as we can to make sure they feel it is their playground. It's just not somebody coming in and go, there you go, there's your playground, but make sure they're involved from the very beginning.
This is a mud pie that we made earlier, and always when we go home we have to wash our hands because they get this muddy.
It's not a magic thing that'll happen overnight. This has been a long process. Poppy was, I think, 2 whenever we started off. She's 10 now.
If we hadn't got the £46,000 from the Fair Share Trust to install the multi-use ballpark, then frankly we wouldn't have been able to get the remaining money to put in the castle structure and the structure at the bottom. The key pin, the kingpin in all of this was that multi-use ballpark. And it doesn't matter about the rest of the structures, that multi-use ballpark will be used by the local schools for five-a-side football and everything else. The local Beaumaris Town Football Club have now got a place where they can actually play. If we hadn't installed that, and if Fair Share Trust hadn't come to us with the money and allowed us to do this, then this wouldn't have happened.
It's been fantastic because the equipment that we have here now means that the children can go out the door down to the park and they can play. You don't have to get into buses, you don't have to go arrange to meet somewhere.
It's really brought the community together. This is very much a focal point within the community.
It can happen. It's just a couple of mums getting together, and we didn't know what we were doing, but we've achieved this. We can look back and we said, yeah, we did that. That's good.
This is where I act like a monkey.
Mae di cymryd amser, tyd i bobl wybod fod fi yma, mae'n siŵr i ddechrau fe. Ti'n mynd efo strategaeth chwarae allan, fod ni wedi cael seminar chwarae, o bobl yn dod yn fwy ymwybodol fod na swyddog chwarae ar yr ynys. Dwi wedi creu tudalen Facebook hefyd, dewch i chwarae, a dwi'n hyrwyddo hwnnw yn eitha aml o digwyddiadau sy'n ymlaen ar Ynys Môn, a hefyd pa mae yna ffynonellau arian ar gael. Dwi'n rhoi heini fyny, fel fod bobl yn ymwybodol fod yna arian ar gael.
The awareness, if nothing else, of that there is actual funding opportunities outside has actually shifted the perception within the RAF about always having to do things for themselves. And if they engage with the wider community, they can actually look to find funding elsewhere and perhaps work in partnership. And over the years, I've noticed a distinct change about community engagement, community partnership working, and closer relationships between service family and children living in the local communities. We developed some P3 training for play workers, and I offer the facilities here at RAF Valley as a training venue because we are so close to an established play area, a multi-user game area and the youth club, so it lent all that kind of environment to that training programme so people could actually put into practice and experience that for themselves during their programme. And it's very beneficial. We got 2 members of staff trained into the play work programme, and that has been extremely helpful. We've offered RAF Valley here as a venue for future play work, for perhaps some training to do with assessing playgrounds fit for purpose and other opportunities like that. And we're very keen to do that because it's a raising awareness of RAF Valley and its family issues here. And it's also in turn raising awareness within RAF family of what's available in the wider community and how we can tap into that kind of professionalism to develop our families' needs.
The same year, almost double, 2,365 under-14s were injured from falling off beds. So there we go. If kids aren't out climbing trees and taking risks, they'll find their risk somewhere else in the bedroom.
We developed a business plan for the final 3 years of the programme that was looking at wider benefits to the programme really, rather than just play areas, what other things could be done to develop play on the island. And out of that business plan, funding has been identified for a play officer. And really in the last year, 18 months, we've developed a community toolkit to support community councils with developing their play areas. And we've developed a number of sort of seminars for community groups and training programs to support community councils with managing the play areas that's their responsibility.
People's attitude has changed, I think, towards what parks are. There's more consultation now with children and young people of what what they want and what their real need, and not assuming that everybody wants swings and slides. Swings and slides are great, but also there's other natural formats of play. The play ranges have supported lots of the funding bids that came to table that has helped take the issue of play even further, which is absolutely fantastic. I think it's taken away the fear factor as well with risk, with play, and also what the play coordinator through Fair Share has given us is training to people on knowing where the boundaries are and what can be done, and there is a lot more that, you know, the freedom to play.
This is our swing, and we can also use it as a seesaw.
Cydnabod pwysigrwydd o chwarae yn allweddol oedd y ffaith bod yna gorff yn barod I ysgwyddo'r baich o weinyddu yr arian yn bwysig, ond o hynny ddim heb I anawstera reit anodd ar brydia, lle oedd yna, efallai swn i'n tybio diffyg gweld yr angen I ddatblygu capacity neu cynhwysedd cymunedau I gymryd cyfrifoldeb. Dim dros nos ydych chi yn meithrin diddordeb pobl mewn I cymunedau, nac chwaith yn gweithredu yn I cymunedau.
Mae'r ymherthynas I efo'r panel cyfrandeg wedi helpu gael dylanwad enfawr ar draws y tair sir yn y gogledd orllewin. Hyn yn dod drwy'r ffaith bod cyfrandeg wedi cael enw da o'r dechrau a wedi cael dylanwad da yn lleol, a wedyn yn ni'n gallu defnyddio'r atbwyd yna I drafod pethau mewn siroedd fel Gwynedd, fel Conwy, I ddylanwadu yno hefyd iddyn nhw ddysgu o'r ymarfer da sydd wedi digwydd yma yn Ynys Môn a gwneud gwasanaeth gwell eu hunain yn eu siroedd eu hunain. Felly mae yna ddylanwad enfawr ar y lefel strategol hefyd, oherwydd dod na ddim rhwydwaith, ond na ddim isadeiledd ar gyfer darpariaeth chwarae a darparu'n strategol ar gyfer chwarae dim yn Ynys Môn nac yn ehangach ar y pryd, so mae o di dangos y ffordd ymlaen I siroedd eraill.
I think the programme has had a great impact over 10 years, and it's brought together a lot of people who've had a stake in play, who perhaps wouldn't have spoken to each other previously. So it's been really important that the programme's been there and the panel has been there. And I think it's also brought communities together. It's brought community groups, you know, where something's worked in one community, they've been able to share those messages with other community groups as well. And I think without the Fair Share panel, some of the things that are now going to go forwards, the development of the play strategy, for example, that's now there, just probably wouldn't have happened, or perhaps wouldn't have happened as effectively as they did.
We love